What's going on, everybody? This is KD for the Wealth Wells coming at you again with another trading and training session. I thought we'd start this week as we do our pre-market prep. I'm going to put some trainings there with our pre-market prep and maximize our time. I'm going to try to get this done in 15 minutes or less. The pre-market portion, that is. Give me a thumbs up in the SPY only options room if you can hear me. Before I get going, give me a thumbs up in the SPY only options room if you can hear me. All right, excellent. Got some thumbs up there. All right, so if you're visiting us for the first time, every Sunday at 8:15, I do a pre-market prep from my view of the market. This isn't your general pre-market prep from anyone else. I give you what I am seeing in the market in order to effectively trade, right? Last week, absolutely nice week, normal week. We ended the week very green, somewhere around, again, 27 trades, and 3 losses last week as well. Very green week. And we invite you to do the same, kind of get the consistency that you need to crush it. All right. So everyone that's new, at this time, you can watch any other videos. You'll understand how to find the Discord. But in general, what we want you to do, folks, is to come into the Discord, make sure you read the rules and you verify yourself, right? After that, spend some time reading the testimonials, right? I can't make this up. This is actual people who we have helped, right? And, improve their trading. And they found consistency and continuing to find consistency here as well. Then you can jump into the SPY only options room here, and you can get the trade call outs. You can get the discussion. Now, let me help you out. There's a voice chat schedule. Take a look here, spend time there, and spend time and frequently asked questions, folks. It's imperative that you look at the frequently asked questions here. The frequently asked questions gives you everything you need to know about the Discord and then some. All right. So spend some time there. After you do that, then absolutely you can start taking a look around the market, or rather the Discord. Spend some time in video trainings. All of our trainings are found here. The game is here, folks. I give you the goods in the game here, the preliminaries, and then you can get inside some training. Click your one-on-one bookings tab. There are 2 types of trainings that you can receive, right? One is a training, one is a coaching. The first is you can sign up for the trainings, right? You take the trainings in order, starting with number 0, all right? Now, here is what you should know. You must take the trainings in order. You cannot skip. I've trained traders with 20 years of experience and more. I've trained traders with 2 months experience and more. And everyone thinks that they have something special. You don't know how to trade the way I'm trading. My setup and system may be new to you. You may know some things, other things you may have holes, and I fill in those gaps and provide the clarity for you. So that's why I make everyone go through all trainings. All right. So just know that. Now you can go through them at your own leisure. It's up to you, your own pace. That's up to you. But you cannot skip. If you skip, I will put a placeholder for you. I will not train you. I will put a placeholder there, and I will let you know, we'll hold your spot until you get to 0. Then coaching, that's tier 3 access. And tier 3 access, that's a private group of channels here. The killer whales, swing trades, and other proprietary things like levels, discussion, ad hoc training, all that stuff. I'm going to do a little ad hoc training now, right? Right after I get through the preliminaries, to show you a little bit what I'll spend time with. Now, I did put a call out the other day, and it was only for the killer whales. We did an awesome training. I'll release some of that training, not the full, but I'll release some of that training today. And then some of it we didn't record at all. So when the killer whales ask questions, this is going to be your more serious individuals. This is going to be a lot of folks who understand that they want to get better, and you're going to want to come there to get coaching every single day. All right. Then after that, you can jump in to the SPY only options room and other areas to get the training that you need. But today, I've posted already our weekly prep as far as notable items for the week. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, though, I want to take some time and talk to you guys about something a trader asked me last week. And give me a thumbs up. Have you noticed that the market is very choppy and wicked out, or a lot of wicks, nasty wicks that can catch you and pretty much hurt you? All right, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up for that. Now, let me ask you guys something and respond inside of the SPY only options room. All right. For some of you guys, and give me a yes or a no on this one, has that been difficult for you? Has that been difficult for you to read, for you to kind of string together a series of green days, or just really kind of, get a handle on it? All right. So there you guys are. That's the yeses there. You can see them coming through. All right. So I thought we'd take a little bit of time then and talk about three tips on how to trade a choppy market. All right. So there we go. 3 tips on trading a choppy market. All right. Now, I may or may not post that, later, this training, but I'll try to get it together. But this is for you guys right now. I'll see what I can do. All right. But 3 tips to trading a choppy market. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to SPX here. All right. And I'm going to use SPX. And we're also going to talk about the futures here. Let's talk about the futures here when we'll use them both as an example. So if I'm on SPX, you guys know first and foremost that I trade on the 3-minute. So we'll go down to the 3-minute from Friday's action, right? And I did a workshop on charting, a quick refresher and training for folks who had already been through training. And we stayed on for 2 hours. It was fun, right? I allowed folks in on my time, right? It turned into a trading, but it was just my time, the time I spent on the weekends to work on business and work on trading. And excellent small group and an excellent time. A lot of questions, and I'll do it again. Don't worry. I'll do it again. I don't do those frequently because that's my personal time to prepare, get my mind right, and review my charts. But occasionally, especially for the killer whales, I'll let you guys in on that. All right. Appreciate you too, Chip. All right. Awesome. So some of you guys I see, 2 hours, had a lot of good times in that training, and it wasn't planned. It was just random. I had come out of one training and then decided to just, give that to the killer whales as well. And I'll do more of that. When you guys raise any questions, I'll answer them. All right. So I trade on the 3-minute. So we're talking about, everyone here that's new, 3 tips to trading a choppy market. And then we're going to do our pre-market. I'm going to try to keep this portion now to 15, and then we'll get to the pre-market. All right. So I trade on the 3-minute, right? All right. Now the levels that you see here aren't all the levels. It's just a handful. I'm charting as we speak, getting my charts ready to trade the week. Okay, now I'm sipping my tea. So if you hear the tea in the background, that's because I have to sip my tea to, get in my zone. All right. We'll also spend some time after this with some Q&A and question and answers. And for those who are new, I'll show you and talk to you guys about why I don't use lagging indicators. I'll make a video about that. I've heard some folks asking some questions, and I want to caution you when you come into the Discord, not to be argumentative and not to be prideful and not to be just one of those kind of like debaters and Wall Street jerks. You won't last long, right? It makes us no mind. We don't know you. You don't know me. It doesn't, it takes no energy to kick and ban someone. So just remember, you're allowed to have your style. You're allowed to have whatever you feel is adding value. But when you start to put it out there inside the Discord, the mantra, the overall thrust of this Discord is we don't make trading decisions based on lagging indicators. I'll talk to you about that later. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Folks who are new, I realize this Discord may not work for everyone. We have an incredible win percentage and we have a nice success rate. So we invite anyone who wants to find a home where there's not a lot of junk, there's not a lot of, just extra and chatter and fluff and this and that, to come on and join the Wealth Wells. So I trade on the 3-minute here, right? Now, if you're looking at this screen here, that's some weird behavior. I got to tell you that. Big gap up like that. And we get this nasty wick here. We get a wick there. I mean, that'll sometimes catch anybody, right? That'll sometimes catch anyone. Raider 1 is asking me, what type of tea am I sipping? You see that there? Don't worry, Raider 1. See it right there. All right, Raider 1. It's just jasmine tea. All right, but it's very, very relaxing. So we got these wicked out candles here, right? And you're trying to get a bead, right? You obviously clearly see we got a rejection here, right? Right around that 3842 area. And for those who were in training yesterday, you know that I charted this live in front of you. So I can't manipulate or make up these levels. And when I'm done, I'll show you guys maybe another training, how I add more and, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. But if you want to learn how to chart this way properly, then you have to come into the Wealth Wells, and you're going to have to click the one-on-one bookings and go through training number 0 and 1. Charting, VVP charting is covered in training number 1. So we get rejection, and then we retest 3842 area in here, and we get these nasty wicks, right? You clearly see there's some top-down pressure, but 10 o'clock there was a market moving event. But then at 10:21 we get some bottom-up pressure and, you know, nasty wick action. So here are the 3 tips. All right, number 1, get your training first. Now, listen, this isn't a plug to train with me. I enjoy spending time with my wife and family, and so I'm not looking to be in training every single second. So you don't have to take training from me. If you're not, if you don't see it, you're not convinced, if you don't think there's value there, don't take the training. Bottom line. All right, just a skilled trader that has a bead understanding of the market and a very, very, very profitable and winning system. But you can take it from anyone you like. But get the training. That's what I'm going to tell you. Get it. I'm not talking about some Gumroad or even just some general YouTube training or YouTube University. Get the training that actually from someone who's skilled. They're not using lagging indicators and they've got a winning system, and then put the work in. All right. But the first thing I'm going to do after I've get the training, I'm going to zoom out. So I know it sounds simple, but when you're looking at the market like this is how your screen looks, right? It's a little overwhelming and it pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. And you're so dialed in like this. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to shrink your screen like so, all the way like this. And I want you to zoom out. That's the first thing I want you to do. And I want you to get an overall, in harmony with your levels, I want you to get an overall market, just a consensus of what's going on that day. Calm yourself and zoom out before you exit your trade. Now, the reason why you have time to do that, folks, it's because you're not trading a risky contract. If you are trading a risky contract, I'm going to be flat out honest with you, straight up. You really don't have time to do anything else but make a fast decision. So if you're trading a 0 DTE, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to use these 3 tips because you're cutting yourself out of a profitable trade before you even get started. Now, there is a time and place for 0 DTEs. I'll talk about that later. But assuming you're in a proper contract as a serious trader, a polished trader, you're going to have time to let the trade work itself out, kind of relax or breathe a little. So take a look, and zoom out here. Okay, zoom out. That's what you're going to do, and you're going to look at a couple of things in the market, where you're going, your major levels that you've been dancing off of, maybe some past performance in history. Just zoom out. Okay, all right, zoom out. Now, in addition to, and we'll talk about that and tie it all together in a minute. After zooming out, check market sentiment. All right, check market sentiment. Okay, so the market sentiment is developed in our trainings and in pre-market live every single day. All right, so in the Killer Whales channel, every morning at 8:50 in this channel right here, Killer Whales, where we post I post my live plays. I tell you guys when I'm doing put, scalp, keep an eye on the scalp, etc. You got the timestamps, you know what we're doing, right? We do a pre-market prep. Then inside of the SPY only options room, right? On Mondays and Fridays at 8:50 a.m. from 8:50 to about 12 noon, sometimes 1 o'clock, I'm trading live with general public on The Voice. Then I type up my call outs and etc. Also give some context, but most of the action is happening during the better part of the week with the Killer Whales. Okay, so now you have an idea of what market sentiment is, right? You understand it's the structure and it's based on the data points we've all discussed. Now, a part of this is going to tie in with what we're going to talk about today. Every week, myself or someone else who's helpful in Discord, we're going to post just some key elements and key events to discuss market structure and market sentiment. And these key elements and key events, they will help us build a trading thesis for the week. So take a step out. Take a step out. Now, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and hit some higher time frames, right? So a few higher time frames I'm going to hit are the standards, 5, 10, 15. That's fine. 30, that's fine as well. You can go, obviously we're looking at structure at a higher level, but a very good indicator of if we're respecting market sentiment is me zooming out to a higher time frame, such as a 15-minute view. Now look at the 15-minute view. We've still got some wicks, but because we've zoomed out in our attempt to check market sentiment, we can get a cleaner look. We can get a cleaner look of where we're going, and we can also get some past data and understand structure. Now, here's the third tip. The third tip is this: snap some trend lines for trend analysis. All right. So no, I'm not telling you to use lagging indicators. I'm not telling you to use anything that's computing past lagging data. Has got to wait for the candlestick to make a trading decision. If you choose to use that stuff, that's on you. But it's just as easy to come on your chart here and to just snap a trend line, right? To get an idea. So even if you were up to maybe this point of the day, right? Even if you were up to maybe that point of the day, and you came here and you snapped the trend line here and taken into consideration all of your lows, right? There you go, right? From the previous couple of days, you can get the trend, then you can understand where we're going. You can understand. The question is, when do we get there? But you certainly can get an idea of what structure is. And so obviously, as we, in this example on SPX, as we begin to hold and chip and chip and chip and chip and chip, then you would have been able to understand where we're going to hold and ultimately where we want to go, right? Now, you can do that on other time frames, right? So here's one example where you can go down to the 10-minute, right? You can view the structure as well on the 10-minute, and you can go up to the 30. You can view the structure there as well. But snapping a trend line or doing trend analysis, zooming out at higher time frames and getting an idea of market sentiment will calm your heart. And trading the right contract, that is, will calm your heart and allow you to get an idea of where we're going. And then the final extra here is trust your levels, folks. You've been through the training. You understand our levels. They're not some random level because we see a bunch of touches. That's not how we chart. You guys know that. You've been through training. Most traders are looking at touches. We read price action, and the ability to read that gives me an edge, period. So I know that bottom line is I'm going to continue to come up here and retest, and ultimately I want to break above 3868 and beyond on SPX. All right. So we've just discussed 3 tips, all right, to trading a chippy, choppy market, wicks and all. Get the training you need, zoom out, get a high level view of where we're going based on your levels. Check market sentiment based on the pre-market prep, based on the weekly prep we're doing here. Where are we going? Those are the most important 5 words you're going to ask yourself intraday. Where are we going? 4 words, sorry. So those words are going to help you, say to yourself, you know what? This may be a hold, or we ultimately, because of structure, we ultimately are going to break down. So I think we're going a little lower. So, okay, I can cut this, or it can govern your risk tolerance and et cetera, right? And then the final is use trend analysis. To do that, one example is you can snap a trend line and get an idea of the flow, right? Especially at a higher time frame, it's going to help you out a little bit. Okay, then you go back to trading, or you can understand and let your trade relax and etc. So those are the 3 things, the 3 tips. That's what I do. My chart is extremely clean. There's not a whole lot of mess going on my chart. Now, a lot of traders can't believe you can trade effectively this way, which is why I allow just about the general public, anyone who is not disruptive, I allow them to just come into the Discord here. And I allow them to just trade with me Mondays and Fridays. And you can see the effectiveness for yourself. You want to see if someone's good in trading, then trade with them. You can understand it. If it doesn't work for you, we'll bid you farewell. And I'm sure you'll go on and be incredibly successful. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. This is 7/17/2022. This is your weekly prep. And let's go ahead and get some key data to understand what the week may look like and what we're looking at. All right. So a couple of notable items here. So Monday, the 18th, we got the housing market index report at 10 a.m. Then we've got housing stats coming out. That's going to be a nice, interesting market mover, July 19th, 8:30. And then existing home sales. I expect the housing stats, the sales, I expect to see cooling. All right. I expect to see the real estate industry and the real estate portion to be the next big time notable area of interest to signal recession and continue stagflation, continue stagnant behavior. So we look to see those reports pretty flat. All right. That's going to be Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then Thursday and Friday, we got week over week jobless claims, Philadelphia manufacturing index, right? And then Friday PMI composite flash as well. So all of those are going to be some notable areas of interest that we will be watching this week. All right. We have a Fed member speaking, let's see here, on the 19th at 2:35. So in our pre-market that day, the day of, we'll talk about what's going on there and how that can impact the market. Okay. So those are some notable events. Looking ahead into next week already, FOMC meeting, right? It's going to kick off to the backside of the month. And so we'll be looking for the press conference and other notable, news events that's going to be happening that week. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at. I'm going to delete this trend line right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the futures and take a look overall. Let's get a high level together and get some market structure. Again, I got no lagging indicators, no squiggly lines on my screen. You can clearly see there's some areas of interest down here around that 3,750. You can clearly see. You can also clearly see that this, from those who are either if you're pattern trading or not, whatever, it's very obvious that we've tested this 3,780 area, right? And we've got some buying pressure coming in from down there, right? So let's drill down a little bit deeper here and see if we can't get an idea of what's going on. Futures look to be breaking down just slightly right now, all right? And let's bring up some levels here, just a few for this area, and then get an idea of where we're going to roll this week. All right, so we ended our week here really testing 3,850 area and then make a nice little run up, being pinned at that 3,868 area. We opened today coming off that 3,880 area on the futures, and you guys know, called that area plenty of times, and we played off that area in the Discord last week. All right, so we're going to take a look at our higher level here, all right, higher time frame here, and let's get an idea of kind of where we may want to go. So unless we see a rush of volume, right, and we all have to allow the bonds, some geopolitical news, and some other events to kind of give more context to this as we open up. We'll discuss that 8:50 tomorrow morning. But unless we get some type of a notable news event here, this week, we'll see if we can obviously continue to break ahead of this. I still see weakness here, right? So I'll be looking for that 3,850 area and for us to either break down or hold in that area there, all right? So as we open tomorrow, I'll pay attention to the overnight session in the futures, right? And so ultimately, as you can see on your screen here, I want to see us break above 3,880 and hold at 3,850. So these are my two areas of interest on the futures, and I'll trade often for these areas. I will be paying attention to volume to see if there's a presence or absence of volume there, and we'll trade accordingly. The SPY levels are always posted in the Killer Whales chat, right? And so we've got all the levels in between. We've got those levels, but these are our two areas of interest where the presence or absence of volume will dictate where we go. So all in all, it's going to be a very solid week, pretty much like last week. You can see we were pinned Friday from the 15th, really all day. We were pinned top side of the day, should I say, around this 3850 area because there was a nice amount of volume there that was holding it up. And also we had some top down pressure here. So we basically got pinned in this area, and then toward the last 9 minutes, but really it was the last minute of the day, 3 minutes of the day that popped us up, and we finally pierced very lightly that 3868 area. So we'll be looking to see in the overnight session if we break down here and hold and where we go. We break down here, then the next area of interest there to the downside will likely be that 3815 area, 3820 area on the futures. And we'll be playing pretty much the same range as we traded in last week. Okay, so that's our weekly prep. That's what I'm looking for there. Those are my two areas of interest. We did a training to start this thing out. I'm going to encourage anyone who's watching this for the first time. This is how we trade. There's not a whole lot of confusion. I put context and understanding to how to read the market. Okay, and we have a very successful and profitable setup. So click the link down below if you're watching this video, or if you're in the Discord, we encourage you to spend some time here, the testimonials tab. I didn't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. These folks aren't paid to do any of this. They're giving their honest opinion and expression, and they're getting some help throughout the Discord. All right, I'm going to leave you with one testimonial, and I'm going to get consent again. Grant, do you mind? You can give me a thumbs up inside the Discord here. Do you mind if I share your experience with everyone? You guys can see it. And if Grant doesn't give me a thumbs up, I won't share it. I'm wondering if Grant will allow me to share. If I don't get the thumbs up, I won't share it. All right. Gave me a fire thumbs up. All right, Grant. And just so that you guys can see that Grant said I can share it. I don't share results from trade plans and etc. right here. So Grant, let's have a quick conversation. Grant, how long was your trade plan? How long was your trade plan that I put you on after we had a discussion? Grant, give Grant a little time to type it in there. All right, so Grant's trade plan, as you guys can see in the Discord there, 8-week trade plan. All right, now I'm going to, I won't pull up, you guys can hear me here. Let me see if I've got the stats from Grant's trade plan here. All right, so, and I shared this with the Discord with the Killer Whales. I'll share it with you guys. So Grant's trade plan, all in all here, Grant, over the course of these 8 weeks, even taking some days off, there's some holiday in there, some other days off in there. Grant has 81 trades, 81 trades, one break even out of 99. I'm sorry, 81 wins, 81 wins, one break even out of 99 trades, right? Now, Grant did send me lessons learned. I'll post all that in the Discord there. Okay. But so here's some lessons learned that Grant discussed here with me. Number one was the DAC is invaluable. The DAC is invaluable. All right. So now the DAC, for those who don't understand it, it's a account management strategy. It's designed to protect you, right? And so we encourage everyone to use it, right? To use the DAC. Now, it's going to, number one, protect you from you, but it's going to allow you to trade another day. It's going to allow you to trade the next day successfully, all right? So that was one of the feedbacks, or some of the feedback I got from Grant about what was actually helpful. So the first thing was the DAC. The second thing was discipline and focus. And I'll post all this as well. The third was paying attention to market sentiment in addition to VVP. setting the daily thesis, determining your profit target, sticking with your goals here, right? 10%, etc., that you're going to get with your distance and more than that, but just sticking with your plan, right? So distractions, this is number 4, said distractions, don't trade, right? Don't trade, right? No trades, right? Just look at your chart, recap your trades, work on yourself, that kind of stuff, right? And then there were some other things, setting digital stops were necessary. And then there were some other logistical things that we talked about, right? Scalping levels, they add up. So this is an example of someone in the Discord, right? And we can put more context to it. Maybe we'll do a video about it. That's up to Grant. But I don't put anyone that's on a trade plan, I don't put your information out there without your consent. We'll talk about it. But I thought it would be helpful that you guys could see a person in the Discord, amongst others, trading at a high level. And even through different challenges or different things that could maybe pause or stop someone's frequency, right? Grant continued to crush it. And there's many others, all right? So I'll get to you guys as well. There's many others. But that is how we get a person to a consistent, profitable status and continue to build from there, all right? So do you want to have this type of result? 81 wins out of 99 trades, 1 break even, with some days off, some days where there's no trades, some holidays, and others. Do you want to have that? And may I add, in that 8-week program, Grant, help me out. Let's sum it up here. Was there any times where any weeks where you ended the week red? Any weeks where you ended the week red? I'm interested to know. This is what we didn't talk about. All right. So this is from Grant. I want everybody to see it. No red weeks. Now, let me just tell you guys this, okay? I'm going to kick it with you. All right. And then we'll stay on after this. I'll stop the recording and we'll stay on after this. All right. Because I get a lot of new people. I get folks, trying to pick a fight. They can't believe that you can come out the day and week green. We still take losses. Grant, I'm going to ask Grant again. Okay. And for those who've been in the Discord for some time, Grant is a real person. In fact, many of you have seen Grant. You've been in the training with Grant. You've seen, right? Grant, have you had a red day? In 8 weeks, have you had a red day? Yes, many. Yet you've still ended the week green and profitable. Interesting. So here's the idea here. You get better in frequency, guys. You're going to be bad, or rather good before, or bad before you're good and good before you're great. So you're going to come through, you're going to have a bunch of red days at first, and then you're going to get some training. And then you're going to have a few red days and start developing green weeks. Then you're going to have some green weeks, some red weeks. And then you're going to start having all green weeks, and you're going to start having fewer red days. Then eventually you are going to have green days and green weeks. That's how it works. None of this extra stuff, right? Just flat out solid trading. That's what we're about in the Wealth Wall. So I just want to help you guys with that, to understand and I'll do some of these every week, and we'll start to have some conversations on the podcast with a lot of these folks. All right. Live people talking, so you can get an idea. You don't have to just listen to my big mouth, right? You can listen to people who are actually growing through the Discord. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know what I know, right? But nobody knows everything. And so where there's value in the Discord, we absolutely will tap into that value. So there are some awesome folks in the Discord who can add value in different areas. That's not a lagging indicator. That's not some false information. We're going to kick it with you and talk with you as well. All right. This training and this recap has gone way too long. We're gonna end the recording here. So if you're watching this for the first time, guys, again, go ahead and come into the Wealth Wells Discord. Click the link down below. Make sure you verify yourself. Spend some time, read the testimonials, and then jump into the Spy on the Options room, 8:50 a.m. every single Monday and Friday. And then the Killer Wells chat on the other days, and we're going to crush it together. All right. I'll take some Q&A right now inside of the Spy Only Options room and spend some time with you guys for anything else that you may have questions with.